Hello England fans, welcome back to the channel. My name's Gary and in today's video I am looking ahead to England's second game at the FIFA 2022 World Cup. Yes, it's against the United States. Stick around to hear my thoughts and the score prediction for the game. So unless you've been living in a cave, this is how Group B currently stands at the FIFA World Cup. So all teams have played one match so far. England, of course, won 6-2 against Iran. Nothing short of a fantastic display from the Three Lions. That puts us top of the group with 3 points. Wales and the US played out a 1-1 draw, a game very much of two halves where the US looked excellent, yet seemed to lack that attacking threat moving forward in the first half. But Wales came back fighting. US faded away and in the end they were hanging on really for a 1-1 draw. A pretty much an equal scoreline given the way the game went. That means the US and Wales are on 1 point and that leaves Iran bottom of the group with no points. So England now face the US on Friday evening UK time. It's 7 PM UK time. England know any sort of result more or less gets them through to the round of 16. A win obviously would guarantee that. After the first round of fixtures though, momentum is clearly on England's side. I didn't see anything Monday night between Wales and the United States that makes me fearful. The US were obviously fantastic within that first half, but still didn't create any sort of clear-cut chances. They only had one shot on target for the entire match. From my understanding as well, that was probably the United States' best performance in a long time in that first half against Wales. The right flank in particular for me looked really strong. Weir looked strong, Dest looked strong, which made it even more perplexing to me really why that is the side of the pitch that Berhalter decided to make the substitutions. The US looked by far the more threatening down the right hand side. Pulisic I think looked a little bit isolated and the problem was the substitutions by the US seemed to make no impact at all, which is a worry for them. Yedlin and Wright failed to make any sort of impact upon the match and that probably shows United States' biggest weakness. They lack the depth. We know Gio Reyna never got brought on, much to the dismay of the United States fans, but the substitutions they did make weren't very successful at all. We've probably seen the best of the United States within that first 45 minutes against Wales, but they still look toothless going forward. Clearly some issues there as well with their best players with fitness and energy levels. They could not keep that up for 90 minutes. They really did fade away. It was really a game of two halves. It was that clear cliche, but it really was. The intensity that the US went out in that first 45 minutes blew Wales away really, and Wales never looked like getting a foothold on the game. That won't happen against England. England will not get blown away by a quick start. England was sensational though. I've said in my previous video, it is probably the best start England's ever had to a World Cup. The biggest problem for England moving forward is what do we do now? Do we stick with the back four, go back to a back five and become more defensive, particularly now we have the 3 points in the bag? I do think though the US need to get something out of this game. If England win this game, and obviously if Wales are probably favourites now to beat Iran, the United States will then be going into their final group game with almost their fate outside of their own hands. Yes, they can beat Iran, but if Wales get any sort of result against England, then they're out. So I do think the United States need to try and get something out of this game. So if they attack England, they're going to get torn to pieces. It's as simple as that, but they can't sit back the whole time either. So it's a very fine balance now for Berhalter to try and figure out really. I just really fancy England in this. I really do. I mean, obviously, we've seen today this is the World Cup of upsets potentially, and clearly any results can happen over 90 minutes, but England are clear favourites for this going into this game. I think the best the US can hope for is a draw, but I just think England are going to be too strong. England's bench is going to be key again. The players that we could bring off the bench in the last match showed how ruthless we can be when we really need to finish games off now, and if Southgate's brave, we can do that. We've got pace coming off the bench. I'm not saying the US have no chance, but this is clearly England's game to lose really. The confidence is all going to be with them. They haven't got as much pressure now on them as what they would have if we had failed to get a win against Iran, so England can be a little bit more relaxed throughout the game. Yes, England's defence is still vulnerable. It showed vulnerabilities against Iran, so there is room for optimism for the US fans. Their attacking lineup will be able to create chances against this English back four, back five. But I just just don't think the US are going to be able to keep us out going the other way, and I think England are going to start to score goals. I'm going to go with 3-1 for England. It's a little bit more optimistic and a little bit more confident than my initial prediction against Iran. I was probably a little bit more conservative in that one, as we can see from the result. But I don't think 3-1 England. It wouldn't surprise anybody if that was the score. It really wouldn't. England have found their scoring boots. Players are picking in with goals throughout the squad. So yeah, I'm going 3-1 England. I really am in England to secure their place in the round of 16. Let me know your thoughts below. I really want to know this. US fans, come on. As an England fan, I'm obviously quite confident following this first round of fixtures. Let me know how you're feeling. If you're new to the channel and you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe below, and I will see you on the next video.